Hey, Destination Declutterers. I think I just started videoing. I'm going to check. Am I? Yep, here I go. All right, so this is Total Riff to help you get motivated, inspired. I don't know, just get from park into drive and driving towards. I know we screwed this up. Driving towards your destination. So I want to talk a little bit this week about the power of having a destination because it happened 3 different times this past week, and the power of having fresh eyes on on your situation. This can happen as coaching, this can happen with a friend, but getting somebody else's perspective and ideas can be a game changer. So this week, when I was coaching, I had 2 clients that had kind of revelations about this, and it was wonderful. It was one of them had been doing a great job clutter clearing, transforming a room in her house into something that we were working towards, the destination she was working towards. But because she was decluttering that room, it also has this wonderful ripple effect, as I like to say. And so she has another room adjacent to it that was opening up, and she wasn't sure what to do with it. And I said, well, maybe just leave it empty until you figure it out. Further on in our conversation, however, she mentioned that where she and I were meeting, because we meet on Zoom, was her now grown son's old bedroom. Still had the bed there, still had all that stuff. And she was kind of, like living on top of it with her computer. And she mentioned that work was going to be giving her a new computer in order to do this. And I suggested to her, hey, maybe instead, like, why don't you move that guest room, that bedroom concept up into that other bedroom, that empty space we were just talking about. And this was wonderful because it was kind of like a light went on. It was like, oh, you know what? That's a great idea. That would be so wonderful. And so that is the power of kind of having a destination. We started with one, but all these little other projects that happen when you start to declutter. And as I like to say, you make space not only in your house, but in your life for what's important to you. That bedroom had its time and its place. Her son is now grown and maybe stays over occasionally, but does not live there all the time. So why not transform and take the space you're making and make it into your office? So that was a wonderful thing to think about, that new destination for that, and the fresh set of eyes. I haven't been to her house. We talk on Zoom, but in my head I was thinking empty space, this, and so I just, that's what I do. The other one that happened was personally, this was great. So, as some of you may have seen, I did a before and after shot, before and after, of some stuff that I was decluttering in our basement. Some things that I had piled up for my sister to give away to a thrift store, things that we had trash, just a random bunch of stuff, all in this one corner that I had it in. And I wasn't planning on dealing with it for a while, but I was, because I was going up to visit family. So did the before and after. And the great thing is while I was doing that, we had a friend over at our house. He was helping my husband fix a few things. The toilet was leaking and stuff like that. And he came down the basement and he saw kind of what a mess our basement floor is. And it's been like that since we moved into the house, and we don't know what to do and whatever. And he says, hey, why don't we do a project? I can come and help and get some of that like sealant stuff to put over it so it all kind of matches and yada yada. So this was fun because that never occurred to my husband or me. And the best part, I'm like looking over to see if he's going to come in. The best part was that all of a sudden, that destination, that picture of what the basement could look like, and it could look good with the floor and then stuff like that, has got my husband all excited to actually clean up in the basement. Whereas previously, it might be a little bit of me pulling him down there and saying, we have to do this. Come on, let's go through this stuff. Now, there's a destination that he's excited about. I'm going to point. Where's my pointer? He's excited about having the basement look all pro. So he's all hot and heavy about, let's get this started. So having again, recurring theme, having some outside perspective, whether it's me as a coach or a friend who says, hey, why don't you do this? and getting in a destination you're excited about. I will never get this right. It's kind of funny. The last one was wonderful because it actually had nothing to do with me suggesting an idea. It was when I saw the light go on with a coaching client that she and I had been talking about, and we've been working together, and she is making such great progress. The progress we've made in weeks, previously years, she had not made this progress. But there was one area that she was struggling with, that she would talk about wanting to declutter, but then each week she would be like, no, I didn't get to it, didn't get to it. One of the things I do with the coaching is I also talk about, well, what are the things you want to do with your life? You don't want to, what are fun things? And one of the things she brought up was she wanted to do some painting, some watercolors and stuff, not wall painting. And so anyhow, it was wonderful because we were talking about making time in your week to do the things that are important. Don't, delay those. Work on having your best day be every day. And all of a sudden, she was like, hey, you know what I could do is that place that I've been, kind of like dragging my heels to do the clutter clearing over there. All of a sudden, I realize I can use space there and set up for painting. I can set myself up a little section, a little studio area to do my painting. Now, I haven't spoken to her this week because we meet once a week. That's how I do the coaching. But I can almost guarantee you that destination, there we go, that she's all excited to get to be the kind of person who has the space and the time to do something that's important to her, the painting, it's going to be a game changer. I can only imagine that she's going to have renewed energy to drive towards that destination because she wants to get to be that person. So I say this to help you, because that's what I do all this for, is think about what the destination is that's going to kick your butt in a loving way to get you moving to the life you want to live, the place where you've got a space for yourself, the place where your basement looks really good, the place that you have time and places in your area house to do the creative projects or whatever you want, right? So really, that's the power. That's why I call it destination decluttered, because when you get your mindset on it, it propels you forward and it keeps you going when it's boring and whatever, because you've got your eyes on your destination. The other thing too is that it's so helpful to get somebody else's take on what's going on with you, where you're stuck, where you can't see why you're not moving, but somebody fresh set of eyes might be able to see something and say something that could dislodge a roadblock. So you're allowed to move forward again towards that life you want to live. All right? So that is my wish for you, is to get you. This is the only reason I do this, is because I believe in you, where you are now, getting to where you want to go to. I believe in it, but you are the one who has to believe in it, and you're the one behind the wheel. I'm just a co-pilot who doesn't go anywhere. I don't make any progress forward towards your dreams unless you're driving your life towards your dreams. So I hope that helps. I look forward to seeing you next week. And again, if you have any questions, you want some help, just reply to this email. We can set up a convo and just see what we can do together to work to get you to where you want to go. There. All right. I'll see you next week.